of the more creepy ones. Don't you think so? I mean, it's so strange.
Yeah.
Yesterday we already checked this place out together.
You ready for the trek?
Oh man, I was born ready.
On a cold winter night in a rural part of Ontario, I navigated through the woods with Explomo and Bros of Decay in search of a unique abandoned house that our fellow explorer Freaktography had told us about. Hidden in this forest was a house unlike any other we had ever explored before.
I know. Hopefully he can't be seen from the house up there.
Join us as we investigate what was left behind.
So we've just scaled the hill. It's very steep. I don't know if the light can see, but you can see there's actually lights on in this house. So we've just made our way inside, and I don't think this is the main kitchen, but this is definitely a basement kitchen. The light on the stove there is actually flashing. I tried this light here, which I think is the light there, but I think some of the wires are maybe disconnected or fried or something. Maybe the breaker's off, but it's crazy just to see how much decay, and you can see that the power's actually still very much on. Very eerie. Everything in this house is left behind. I mean, these doors aren't really budging, but you can see they still had like clothes. Looks like spare light bulbs. This is a very rare find. I wonder if this... Oh my god. Yeah. The bathroom lights still work, and look at the ceiling is just gone. This is something else.
Have you seen this?
Seen what?
The lights and this?
I don't know if the neighbors are paying the electrical bill or who's fronting the electrical bill, but it's just...
If you, in our country, in Belgium where I live, you get free electricity from the government if you can pay for the electricity. I don't know if that's the case in Canada.
No, in Canada it's the property owner has to pay the electrical bill, or else they come and cut your electrical.
Yeah, same in Portugal. If you don't pay a penny...
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Actually, in Belgium where I live, and I used to explore a lot over there, we have almost every other place had electricity. Like every other abandoned place had electricity. Just
Because the government, if they can't pay.
they cut off nobody.
Jeez. Well, yeah,
But
here
they give you a very small amount just to keep on the lights.
here it's like as soon as you can't pay, they come and send a truck. Well, they send a first notice, and then if you don't pay by the first notice, then they come and send a truck and cut it off.
Isn't it the first human right?
I know,
Electricity,
Yeah.
water is like in
But
Portugal.
electricity.
It's
Who lives without electricity nowadays? Nobody.
Yeah, yeah.
I
it's
know.
True.
but the thing about these houses is usually when you see a house this decayed with this much, like with the electrical running 24/7, usually some water gets through, starts to spark, and the place burns to the ground. So now we're heading into the garage here. You can see in the corner there, the garage door light sensor is on. And this actual garage door opener, like I bet you right now if I pressed it, it'd still read a signal to the opener and maybe open the garage door, but I'm not going to do that. This would have been the laundry room, but I don't want to test out the electrics in here because I was just talking to Moreno and Ramon from Explomo, and they were saying they were playing around with the washer and it gave them a little bit of a shock. This place is so hazardous, I feel like it's only a matter of time before a spark burns this whole place down. Oh, now this is creepy. I'm not using anything from my lighting panel. But there's quite literally a pot light right there, dangling from the ceiling that's shining like a perfect projection onto that chair. It looks messy because of the ceiling that's completely fallen out, but like everything's pretty much or pretty well organized in here. There's bookshelves that are still stacked with stuff. I don't know if this is supposed to be a drawing of somebody sitting on a box or something, but it's pretty menacing looking, especially in the setting of this light and this rusted metal farming tool right up against it. The windows had blinds that you could close there, and like if you wanted to just steam up the room, or maybe if you wanted to air it out. Can't really squeeze through here, but it looks like this is the back room. Oh, you can see the electrical breaker. Oh, I thought it was the floor giving out, but it's just a board. But you can actually see the electrical breaker with almost everything flipped on.
The fact that the power had been left on was certainly unusual, and as I made my way upstairs, things only continued to get more and more strange.
There's not a single spot in this house that isn't covered by the ceiling. And now with the water that's come through, it's like a nice coat of ice. I gotta be careful. And this would have been the front entrance here. On the outside, I think it's, yeah, sealed shut. You can see some of the jackets. Various clothing of the family left behind. And holy.
The warm chair, the sweet chair over here, like the grandma chair.
Look at this living room. You can see Explomo in the living room
This is
here.
crazy, man.
Moreno and Ramon.
Yeah, I think it can't get any crazier, and then you come in another living room with working electricity.
Coming into the family room here, you can see all the vapor barrier has completely collapsed. And the insulation just litters the floor. And on top here, there's even a stalagmite of snow. And on this side of the chair, look, because this side of the chair is getting light and there's the moisture, you can see there's moss building up on the chair there.
Good eye for detail, bro. Seriously, I didn't even notice that.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's literally just in the patch that it's getting light. You can see everywhere else it's not green.
Throughout the exploration, we began to get a picture of the people who once lived here. They were a family of 4 consisting of a father, a mother, and their 2 daughters. They appeared to be a very curious family, well-read and well-traveled, with books of all subjects filling the shelves of every room, along with a massive telescope that still pointed towards the sky. But all of these discoveries were only just scratching the surface of the peculiar history of this home.
Oh my god.
What?
It turned on.
Damn, you're kidding me, man. You're kidding me.
My technician.
Need to find a DVD player.
Yeah, well there's a built-in one there, but if we find it, yeah, maybe another one, it might work better.
It was already cool that we see the TV on, I think.
Yeah, you can imagine a movie. Moving into this back room here. I wonder if this was like their dining room. If all the lights in this house work, these lights probably work too.
Leave them on for a second. Wow.
I'm afraid I don't want to signal the neighbors, but look at that.
Insane.
On the windowsill here, they had some binoculars, an old Nikon. Another pair of binoculars, so maybe from this window they tried to watch for some deer or some animals, because in the fields over there, there's several deer tracks. You can see a chair just buried in insulation, along with their dining table and chandelier here. Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna see. I don't know why I'm surprised at this point, but like, those lights should not be working. It's just absolute insanity. Like the back wall is just completely falling in. This whole room is about to collapse on itself. And we have working power. You can even hear the ringing of some of the appliances. I think it's these fluorescent bulbs here. Yeah, it is. Look, when I turn the dial, it gets louder. Okay, I don't want to play with that too much. But yeah, look. The light for that is still on. Coffee maker is dead, but plugging that in, it still works. The light comes on and everything. All right. Please don't be smelly. Oh my, there's like some sort of chicken dish in the corner there. Heading down the hallway here. This looks like one of the washrooms. One of the lights is on. It looked like one of the other ones either has a dead bulb or it's shorted. But you can see, holy, there's a ginormous hole in the ceiling there, or the roof. It's completely collapsed, and you can tell by all the stalagmites on the floor here. And it would have led into one of the bedrooms there, which we'll get to in a second. Had a lot of these Divine Essence organic blend. It's an essential oil. Had a lot of essential oils and stuff. And various skin products. It's hard to move past all this stuff here. this was part of the master bedroom.
It appeared that after a dispute regarding property lines with the adjacent landowner turned unfavorable, the house was abandoned in 2017 and all of the home's possessions were left behind.
If nothing was scary yet, that was super scary.
I think Leslie rang the front door.
Why are you trying? Oh my gosh.
It looks like they just threw a lot of their garbage in this room. It honestly just smells like a swamp. They have an old dresser there and several bowls. It looks like to catch leaks coming from the ceiling, but I don't think it helped too much. It's hard for me to move in here, but you can see underneath that sort of toaster looking thing, the icicles that have begun to form from all the water. This whole closet is completely fallen in, and it looks like it's merging with the closet that we're about to see in this bedroom right here. Yeah, every single room has had just loads and loads of bookshelves. This one in particular is cool because it looks like water's come down and sort of trickled down the wall and the bookshelf itself, eroding it and creating like icicles.
Where the family is now or what they are doing is unknown, which leads to several underlying questions. If the property was vacated, why has nothing been done with the land? Why hasn't anyone moved in or the property been demolished? But perhaps the biggest unknown of all is why a house as decayed as this one still has power. Thank you for watching.